All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's on the Power. So in this video, I want to talk about the 2013 Mr. Olympia. Now, this was a very significant Mr. Olympia, number one, because it was Jay Cutler's last Olympia ever following his bicep injury. And number two, we got to see the rare treat of Jay Cutler going head-to-head with Big Ramy. This was also Big Ramy's first ever Mr. Olympia competition. And Jay Cutler actually ended up beating Big Ramy by not one, but two placings, Big Ramy coming in 8th and Jay Cutler coming in 6th. Now, I specifically remember watching the live stream of this Mr. Olympia. I believe it was one of the first Mr. Olympias that I ever watched on live stream. I can remember I was in college, and I went over to my buddy Zach. You guys might remember Zach from some of the videos that I've done with him in the past. I went over to his apartment on campus, and we watched that 2013 Mr. Olympia together. It was the first Olympia we ever watched together. And I remember sitting down and just waiting for Big Ramy to come out because we knew Big Ramy was going to look amazing. We had seen him already that year at his pro debut at that 2013 New York Pro. So in 2013, I remember the hype for Big Ramy was real. You think the hype right now for Big Ramy is big. When Big Ramy first hit the scene back in 2013, everybody was talking about this new guy, this new mass monster Big Ramy coming to the Olympia, and how is he going to do at his Olympia debut. I think that's the primary reason we watched it, was to see both Ramy and Jay. Everyone kind of knew that Phil was going to win again, and Phil looked pretty damn good in 2013. But I remember sitting there waiting for Ramy to come out, and when Ramy did come out, he was a jaw-dropping bodybuilder. I mean, this guy was pretty much everything that the hype was promising he would be. He wasn't the most conditioned version of Big Ramy, but again, his Olympia debut, he wanted to come in big. He needed to come in big and make a statement. And the physique that he brought in 2013, it made the statement of, I am here and I am not messing around. So I think Big Ramy actually did look really good in 2013. And it was kind of controversial. It was actually really controversial that Jay Cutler ended up beating Big Ramy. And a lot of people think Jay Cutler was kind of gifted that 6th place finish, because Jay Cutler, while he is one of the best Mr. Olympias ever, he had, in 2009, one of the most jaw-dropping Olympia physiques I think anybody had ever seen. But 2013 Jay Cutler was a shadow of himself. And it's really not through any fault of his own. It was through the fault of the injury. He was going through his divorce around that same time. I believe he said in his interview during the Olympia prep for that 2013 Olympia, his dog also passed away. So divorce, dog passed away, massive bicep injury. He was going through a lot during that Olympia prep, and you could really see that on his physique. Now, I wouldn't say his bicep looked horrible, but it was noticeable on stage. And in a lot of the shots against Big Ramy, the conditioning and the blockiness is one of the things that stood out about Jay, where a lot of people thought Ramy should have beat him. Now, one pose in particular where I think you can make a very strong case for Big Ramy here would be the side chest pose from 2013. I mean, look at every single aspect of the physique from the side here. The separation in the legs between the hamstrings and the quads, the tie-in between the glutes and the hamstrings, the delts from the side, the arms from the side. Look at the biceps, look at the triceps, look at the forearms, look at the chest, look at the striations in the chest. Everything on Big Ramy looks more conditioned, more separated, bigger, rounder, fuller, younger. Just everything about the muscle on Big Ramy, specifically from the side, looks superior to Jay. Now, I think from the front, you can make a little bit more of an argument for Jay, because his quads, while Big Ramy did have these massive, crazy quads, he always has, Jay Cutler had much better separation in his quads. His quads were much more striated, much more diced, and I think that really made a lot of the front poses for Jay. It gave him the edge there, but pretty much in the upper body, I think Big Ramy still had Jay. I mean, the roundness of the shoulders and that most muscular, the thickness of the pecs, the separation of the abs, and Big Ramy, while he's not the most aesthetic guy, he wasn't nearly as blocky as Jay Cutler did appear at that 2013 Mr. Olympia. And a lot of people like to say, a guy like Jay, 4-time Mr. Olympia, had no reason to come back, and they would have rather he didn't and just kind of retired on that high note. But I'm actually glad Jay Cutler came back. I mean, in this case, I think it was exciting. You had a lot of exciting things about the 2013 Olympia, the debut of Big Ramy, the comeback of Jay Cutler, the Phil and Kai Green rivalry getting stronger. This would be the second year of Phil placing first and Kai placing second. it was just an exciting Mr. Olympia. So it's not one of those things where I think Jay Cutler should regret coming back, or one of those things that I think put, a negative mark on his career. If anything, it's a positive for him. He overcame that bicep injury. He overcame that divorce. He overcame, those personal struggles in his life to get on the Olympia stage. And I don't think really that many people expected Jay was going to win. I think placing top 6 was a win for Jay Cutler. Beating a guy like Big Ramy, that was a win for Jay Cutler. And really just making it to the Olympia stage in and of itself was a win for Jay Cutler. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Ramy versus Jay in 2013. Do you think Jay deserved that 6th place spot, or do you think Ramy deserved it? Thank you guys for watching the video, and please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.